Excuse me, y'all. Oh my God. I'm not planning on being too long because I'm not feeling well. I got a little slight cold, so yeah. All right. So today we're gonna talk about who is responsible for birthright citizenship. Black slaves or Wong Kim Ark. You know, for the last couple of days, I've been watching videos of black people upset saying that immigrants, undocumented immigrants, are claiming their birthright. They are the ones who did it first. The 14th Amendment was meant for slaves and slaves only. You know, and I find that to be a stupid argument. I find it to be very stupid, because of all things that we sit here and argue about, why are we arguing about the 14th Amendment? What's up, Stacy? Why are we arguing about the 14th Amendment? Seriously, why are we arguing about the 14th Amendment? Yes, the 14th Amendment legalized, recognized slaves as being citizens of the United States of America. Thank God they did it. All right. What's up, Super? But at the same time, there was other groups, other brown people who were still trying to get citizenship, trying to be treated as equal, like we was trying to be treated as equal, which was the Chinese. The Chinese came here. No, they wasn't really legally enslaved, but the way they was treated was just like black slaves. They built their railroad. They was treated like third, fourth class citizens, just like slaves was treated. So why are we sitting here pretending like we were the only group to go through all this BS during the 1800s? Now, in 1882, the United States passed a act which was called the Chinese Exclusion Act, which meant that no Chinese in the country, immigrant in the country, could become citizen. Not one. Now, this is after they freed the slaves. This is after they made slaves citizens of the United States. But still, the Chinese who helped build this country, railroad-wise, still cannot become citizens of the United States. Now, we talk about the 14th Amendment and how it established black people being citizens. That's basically what it did. It gave us citizenship. It gave us citizenship, something that we deserved from day one anyway. So what are we sitting here talking about the 14th Amendment about? They gave you something you deserved a long time ago. They gave you something that you deserved when this country first became a country in 1776. You should have been a citizen from day one. So what are you bragging about? This is why we suffer so much, because we tend to argue on petty things. We're upset now because there are some undocumented immigrants who have had kids here, was born here, and they got citizenship. So what? What do they have to do with you? Now, we're going to talk about this 1898 case of Wong Kim Ark, in which his parents was legal residents of this country, but they wasn't citizens because they couldn't be citizens. And he was born here. So he left this country and came back. When he came back, they said that he was not a citizen. So he took it to the Supreme Court. And this is what solidified the 14th Amendment, Section 1. And this is what made it really stick, that anybody born in this country, no matter if you're a citizen or not, you are a citizen. This case right here did it. And a lot of people don't even talk about this case, especially black people. All the videos I have seen with black people talking about how undocumented immigrants are taking advantage of something that they started, which is birthright citizenship, they never bring up this case right here of this Chinese immigrant who was born here, and because his parents was not citizens, they said he could be a citizen. But the Supreme Court ruled that no, he's a citizen, no matter if his parents are citizens or not. And this is the case that proves that no matter who you are, No matter who your parents are, if you're born here, you're a citizen. So let's listen to this right here.
Or perhaps 1873. Wong Kim Ark is born. His parents are Wong Si-ping and Wei Li, both immigrants from China and not United States citizens. According to the naturalization law of 1802, the two could never become citizens because they weren't, quote, white.
And this is another thing too, which I didn't go back to 1802, but y'all have to understand these laws prior to 1868, the 14th Amendment, was all geared toward white people. If you wasn't white, you wasn't even a person, pretty much, in this country. So it wasn't just black people who were being treated this way. Chinese were being treated this way. Better yet, the Irish was being treated this way, even though they were technically white, but they was being treated this way. There's a lot of groups that suffered when they first came to this country. I don't know why we playing victim. Why we don't want to play victim, though. We wasn't the only victim of this, but we played victim. Also, y'all have to understand also, what people are saying that if you are undocumented immigrants, your child should not be a citizen. But what Trump is basically saying, and what a lot of other Republicans are basically saying, if you're not a citizen, you could be here legally, but if you're not a citizen, your child is still not going to be a citizen of this country. And people fail to realize that. They're not only talking about undocumented immigrants, they're talking about non-citizens, period. You could be here legally and still your child would not be a citizen of the United States because you're not a citizen. Make that make sense.
Whatever the heck that means. Due to the Chinese Exclusion Act discriminating against them, the Wongs moved back to China when Kim Ark was 9. But a few years later, Kim Ark came right back to California because he wanted to make some more money. This was not a problem for Kim Ark because since he was born in San Francisco, he was automatically an American citizen thanks to the citizenship clause of the 14th Amendment. In 1890, Wong went to China to visit his parents, and he came back home to the United States with no problem. However, 4 years later, when he went back to China to visit them, he was denied re-entry upon his return. He was like, dude, I live here. They were like, nope, not anymore. You're not a citizen. During the 5 months when Wong fought for re-entry into the country, U.S. Customs kept him confined on different ships just off the coast of San Francisco. Fortunately for Wong, he got support from an organization called the Chinese Six Companies to help him fight for his citizenship. He went to federal district court. So let's break out that 14th Amendment, shall we? So, like I said earlier, there's the citizenship clause of it. And what they focused on.
And we're talking about is Section 1 here. And Section 1 says all persons born or naturalized in the United States and are subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and the states wherein they reside. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. All persons born and naturalized in the United States are subject to the jurisdiction, in which jurisdiction is the main thing because you're under the laws of the United States. Someone like a diplomat, they're not under the laws of the United States when they're here. So their kids, if they have a child while they're here, their kids cannot be citizens because they don't fall under the laws of the United States. A diplomat can commit a crime and the United States can't do shit about it because they're not under the laws of the United States. And that's why people get it mixed up. It says jurisdiction. That means you're under the laws. That means if a legal alien or a undocumented immigrant is here, they under the laws. They can get arrested for breaking any law in the United States. So if they have a child here, that child is a citizen. And a lot of people don't want to understand that. It's plain and simple right there. Plain and simple.
the most was different interpretations of this phrase here. Quote, subject to the jurisdiction thereof. Does that cover when a child is born in the U.S. to parents who are both not citizens? Wong's lawyers argued yes. The United States had been waiting to test out the citizenship clause for a while, and here was their chance. Henry Foote, a former Confederate soldier, represented the United States, calling Wong a, quote, accidental citizen, not the term you usually hear today, which is, quote, anchor baby. On January 3rd, 1896, the district judge sided with Wong, declaring him a citizen since he was born in the USA. The U.S. government appealed the decision directly to the Supreme Court because, well, they could. And the court heard oral arguments on March 5th, 1897. So, could the government deny citizenship to people born in the United States in any circumstance? The court said no. In a 6-2 decision, they ruled in favor of Wong, declaring that any child born in the country to parents of a foreign country is automatically a citizen, unless the parents are foreign diplomats, or the person is born on a public ship, or the parents are nationals of a foreign enemy country that is trying to take over the United States. But yeah, you're born here, you're a citizen, buddy. The courts relied on English common law tradition just as much as they relied on the 14th Amendment for this one. Leading the dissent was Chief Justice Melville Fuller, joined by Justice John Harlan. They both argued that the history of American citizenship broke with the tradition of English common law after it declared independence in 1776. In particular, they wondered about that part of the citizenship clause I told you about earlier, subject to the jurisdiction thereof. Wouldn't that also mean not subject to any foreign power? They argued Wong was still under the control of China due to his parents being under their control. Of all Supreme Court decisions in history, United States v. Wong Kim Ark is the strongest at protecting that citizenship clause of the 14th Amendment, no matter.
And there you go, y'all. That case is the strongest case to protect citizenship, birthright citizenship, not slavery. So when these black people run around here telling y'all that they're the reason why these undocumented immigrants have the right to be here, no. This case right here, United States versus Wong Kim Ark, is the strongest case that protects birthright citizenship, not slavery. The 14th Amendment only gave slaves citizenship. That's it. That's basically what the 14th Amendment did. But this case right here gave protection to birthright citizenship. So it wasn't slavery. It wasn't FBAs. It was this guy right here, this Chinese immigrant parents. This case is what did it. And I think black people need to wake up and stop trying to take credit for everything. If you want to take credit for something, work together to improve the community. How about that? All you FBAs out there, work together to improve the black community. Because if you notice, every group that came here and suffered, like the Chinese, they have surpassed the black community. I wonder why. Maybe because they stick together and they work together, and they're not trying to bash other groups along the way. They just keep their head down and work as a team. Chinese, Hispanics, Asians, they all work together. They all work together, and they exceed anything black people have done in this country so far. And you ask yourself why? Because the only thing we want to do is run around here and just talk about nonsense. Pretend like we want to do something. Pretend like there's no action involved. None whatsoever. And it kills me when we sit here and try to take credit for things that we do not even care about. We don't care about undocumented immigrants being in this country. It's just the topic of the day. That's all it is. It's just a topic of the day. Which party made that happen? Made what happen? What are you talking about? Do you know who represented this guy right here? Do you know who won this case for this guy right here? Let's talk about that, classic. It was a former Confederate soldier who won this case for this guy right here, who actually sit here and fault this birthright case. How about that one? Now, what you got to say about that one? It's easy for the Chinese. What you mean it's easy for the Chinese? How can it be easy for the Chinese when the Chinese couldn't even be citizens in this country? And that's the reason why they fought this case, because the Chinese couldn't even be citizens. Even when black people were citizens, Chinese people still couldn't be citizens of this country. So what are you talking about? It was easy for Chinese. A lot of people don't understand that Chinese went through a lot of shit just like the slaves did, but it just wasn't legally slaved. I'm not here to defend Chinese people. What I'm here to say is we as black people need to understand, we need to stop this nonsense. We need to stop this nonsense when it comes to every other group we want to fight with. So what? Who cares about undocumented immigrants having babies and their babies are citizens? Who cares? That's not important. That shouldn't be important for us. What we should be fighting is the legal system, the education system. That's what we should be fighting. But no, we got people making videos about undocumented immigrants. They taking advantage of something that we started in America in the 14th Amendment. No, they only gave you citizenship in the 14th Amendment. That was it. But this case right here gave protection to birthright citizenship. That's what we need to. That's what we need to understand. That's what we need to be focused on. We wasn't the only group that was suffering in this country. It was more than just us. But for some strange reason, we're the only group that's still suffering. That's the only group. We are the only group that's still suffering. Why is that? Because we don't work together. We do more talking than act in action, put things in action. And that's the problem. We like to talk. We like to hear ourselves talk. That's the only thing we like. We like to conversate. We like to conversate. Well, you know what, Classic? You know, I can't explain to you something you could never understand. So when you said blame your party, you really have to understand how this thing works in order for me to blame anybody. So you is a little lacking in that department when it comes to the blaming other parties. See, you still stuck in 1800s, the 1800s type of Democrats. So, see, we are in 2025 now, which we all know that little rhetoric you talking about is non-existent. And that's the problem with y'all. Y'all sit here. I'm going to drop the link, class, for you come up. Y'all sit here and want to keep talking about the 1800s Democrats, but you don't want to talk about the 21st century Republican Party. Shit. Damn, what's going on my fucking mouse? Why won't let me click on my... Oh, there you go. Damn, what was I fucking doing? What was I clicking on? Oh, that's what I was clicking on. There's the link right there, Classic. Yeah, water. This goddamn cold kicking my ass. I just took some Alka Plus, and it's making me sweat like a dog right about now. What's up, Classic?
Man, what's happening, King?
I don't know it, man. I don't know. It's been a while since you had one of these debates.
Yeah, like I think it's bull. You saying that the Chinese people been through been through just as much as us, and we shouldn't complain about what's going on. No, that's not it, man. That's not us. Your party, the Democratic Party, made it so whatever nationality of people, when they come here, they can do what they want to do. That got nothing to do with black folks. You blaming us for your party's decision that they made.
Let me ask you a question. You got to break that down a little bit more for me. Exactly when you talk about my party made these people, into what they're into. Give me some examples.
The Democratic Party made it okay for every other country to come over here and set up shop, even the illegals that you're talking about. And you telling black folks we need to stop complaining. We need to worry about the law beating our ass and shit like that. We shouldn't be concerned about these illegals coming over here taking our jobs for doing the work for dirt free. No, no, dude, that's not our problem. These motherfuckers. Go ahead.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm gonna ask you a question right quick. I'm gonna stop you right there. You talking about taking our jobs. Let's talk about that for a second. Taking our jobs. How many black people you know is willing to go into a field and pick fruits?
A lot.
You know a lot of black people that's willing to go into a field and pick fruit.
Yeah. Why not?
Okay. All right. Now, the reason I say that because I recall during Trump's first administration term when he did the same thing, when a lot of immigrants left and some was deported or whatever, the farmers in the South, and I recall this Alabama farmer who was complaining because he couldn't get no Americans to come and pick fruit and vegetables from his farm. And that was one of the biggest complaints.
Yeah.
Why? And that was one of the biggest.
Say,
hold on. That was one of the biggest.
Did they tell? Did they?
So what now?
Did he say how much he was paying?
See, that's the problem. See, farm labor is different than regular labor. When you're paying people farm labor, it's a different.
I know about that.
It's a different pay scale. So it's not about. And this is the thing about it. You have to.
No, come on, man. Business is business, though, King.
But this is
business is business. Just because it's farm doesn't not make it not business.
But this is my thing, though. You're not gonna get no black person to go out there and pick fruit or pick vegetables for minimum wage.
How do you know that? They do everything else for minimum wage. They work at McDonald's for minimum wage.
No, very few black people work at McDonald's for minimum wage. Trust me.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
But
man, my city is loaded with black folks working for minimum wage. Man, come on, King.
I'm not gonna ask you where you live at, but what is the minimum wage in your city?
I want to say $15 and some change.
That's my point. You know, minimum wage in the South is in most places $7.25. That's minimum wage in most places in the South, $7.25. So you telling me in Alabama, black people gonna get out there and pick fruit for $7.25? No, it's not gonna happen. You see what I'm saying? It's not gonna happen.
The ones that's looking for a job.
The ones
that's looking for a job.
Let me tell you.
A lot of black folks don't need. No, it is gonna happen, King. No, King. No. You keep trying to, King. You trying to fast forward. We're not done. You just keep talking. Won't let me respond.
When I'm another example, I think you need another example.
No, I don't need no more examples, man. A lot of black folks don't know nothing about the farm work. They don't even know these jobs exist. Black people don't know most of these jobs that you saying that we not willing to do. We don't know they exist. We don't know the information. We don't know how to get a hold of the people that's doing the hiring. So you can take that off of us. That's that Democratic bullshit, King. Like a lot of jobs out here in America, black folks, those who's listening, they say we not willing to work and do those jobs. We don't know how to get a hold of the people that's doing the hiring, or we don't even know these motherfuckers are hiring. It's not like we don't want it or we not willing to work. Quit trying to put a bad rap on black folks, King.
Let me tell you about another job that black people are not really focuses on, which is the construction.
You just listening. You just hearing me. You ain't paying attention though.
Hold on.
Waiting to speak.
Hold on. I'm paying attention to what you're saying. You saying that black people are willing to get out there in the fields and pick fruit and vegetables. That's what you just said. I get it. They just don't know that the jobs are out there. I heard everything you said, but I still disagree with that. So I'm going to show you in Florida right now. You know what they're suffering with right now in Florida? Construction workers. They can't find construction workers. All right. Now, black people are known for construction work. All right. There's tons of construction jobs out there. Why are we not taking advantage of that?
We make up 13% of United States populations. Everybody can't travel to Florida. Everybody don't know.
You cut off. You cut off. Your signal went out.
No, what I'm saying is the jobs down there in Florida, people don't know about them. All the contractors, everybody doing all the buildings, they tied up, so they looking for help. That's why it's the complaint right now. It's not because black folks ain't gonna go down there and work.
But this is my thing, though, Classic. We sit here and make excuses. We make excuses, and then we turn around and say black people want to work these jobs, but these jobs are open and they still don't work. And then we turn around and say, oh, they don't know about these jobs. That's a lie. In the South, in Alabama, Georgia, Florida, anywhere in the South, the South is a black belt. So if those jobs are available, they know about those jobs. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But we're going to sit here and make excuses for them and say, oh, they want those jobs, but they just don't know about those jobs. That's a lie. They don't want those jobs. Those jobs, like picking fruit, don't pay. And they know it don't pay. And that's why they don't want to get out there and do it. And so we need to stop this bullshit about blaming immigrants for taking our jobs when the only jobs they're taking are jobs that we don't even want in the first place.
No, that's a lie. That's some shit you heard, King. Those are not your thoughts. No, it's not. No, it's not. There's no paperwork that say anything that you claiming about black folks at all.
Look, Classic. If you can pull up anywhere where it says black people looking for farm jobs, please pull it up and show me. Please pull it up and show me where a lot of black people looking for farm jobs. Because I would be very amazed if you can do that. You still there? Your signal's in and out.
Just turn my mic off while you was talking.
Oh, I hear you now. Go ahead.
Hey, King, what I'm saying is, dude, all that other shit, man, you keep blaming it on black folks. We need to be concerned about this, that, and the third. Let the Republicans now run us in the ground so the Democrats can take over and screw us over some more. We passed that now. Like you just said, we are in the year 2025. We ain't on that no more, King.
But why are we sitting here blaming undocumented immigrants for all our issues when it's not them, it's really us?
We don't. That's the Democrats trying to put that shit on black folks like yourself.
That's why I'm doing this live stream right now, because I've seen several videos of black people talking about how these undocumented immigrants are taking advantage of something that they put forth for them. And it wasn't for them. They was given citizenship. But when you break it down, this case right here that I'm talking about is the first case that went before the Supreme Court. And this right here is a case that really protects birthright citizenship, not the 14th Amendment, but this case right here. So black people are sitting here worried about the 14th Amendment when they were just given citizenship, and that was it. It was only given citizenship. That's what that case was. That was what they received.
They should do it like this. Just like United States military, or just the United States period. If a pregnant woman happens to go on vacation overseas and she had that baby over there, that baby is still legitimately American citizen.
Yeah, because she's an American citizen.
Right. So just because them illegals come over here and just decide to have their kids because they thinking what you say, the first right citizenship, first generation, no, you don't get no freebies like that.
That's in our Constitution, though.
How? Breaking the law is in our Constitution too.
We can't sit here and say American is exceptional, and then turn around and say, oh, other countries don't do it. No, other countries don't do it, and that would make America so special because we do things like that. That's what
and we shouldn't.
Stand out.
And we shouldn't
stand out above the rest because we are.
And we shouldn't.
We're different.
Your color of people, your race of people are the lowest group. Well, one of the lowest groups in America, but you want other race or group of people to grow more bigger than us?
Why are my people so low on the totem pole? Is it because
of other
groups, or is it because of other groups, or is it because of us?
Other groups and us. It's a double-edged sword.
It's because of us.
It's a double-edged sword.
It's because of us.
No, it's not. No, it's because of people like you. It's people like you. Hey, King. I'm
a realist. I'm a realist.
No, you're not. No,
I'm not gonna do this victim card because other groups are making it better than us.
Who's playing victim, though? Who's playing victim? No, we're not.
When you sit here and blame other groups for your downfall,
I didn't blame nobody. You lying. The Democratic. No, I didn't. No, I did not. I ain't say none of that. That's what you trying to create. I didn't say none of that.
What did you say then? What did you say?
I didn't blame other groups of people. I didn't blame other groups of illegals for our downfall. Those are your words. You
said we play a part and they play a part. Then you said it.
Not in our downfall. Not in our downfall. So no, I didn't. No, not regarding our downfall. I never said that.
So what do you mean when you say they cause some of our issues? Then
I didn't say they caused none of our issues, King. You making up things.
No, I'm just saying. I know I'm paraphrasing, but I'm not.
No, you're not paraphrasing. You lying.
I'm not saying that. I'm not quoting you, but basically that's what you were saying.
No, that's not what I was saying, King.
So go ahead. I'm gonna let you explain yourself then. Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to explain myself. I said what I said. It wasn't that, though. What I'm saying is this right here. You and the rest of the Democrats, y'all create these problems. Y'all put it on black folks. And then when we complain about them, you say, well, y'all the reason why these problems exist. No, you're the reason why. Like you now. You okay. You are okay. No, King, you are stating all the examples. Y'all play that. Y'all played every. You played a reverse game.
Give me one example.
You just told me that all the other people are the reason for the black folks' downfall in America, and we shouldn't complain about it. But you try to say I said it.
Back up. I said what now?
You pretty much try to put your words in my mouth. You complain. You say that we complain about the other people taking our place, pretty much, so to speak. And we complain about it when we shouldn't. We should be worried about that. We should be worried about criminal justice and shit like that. But we shouldn't worry about the illegals. Right. Why shouldn't we worry about these illegal immigrants? Why not? They're taking up space in our community doing horrible things.
No, they're not. We're using them.
How come it's documented?
We're using them as crutches. All these problems been going on in the black community for decades. All of a sudden now we see these undocumented immigrants coming into our community. So now we have a reason to play victim. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about to me. You want to play victim. You want to play victim because you got these people you can put the blame on. That's all.
It sounds like to me, black folks is not allowed to voice their complaints, but white folks, they are to you. They allowed to do whatever. But if black people complain, we the reason for the cause.
What I'm saying. I'm not saying you can't complain. What I'm saying is a lot of y'all complaints falls on deaf ear because y'all are the cause of those. Y'all are the cause of those problems.
That's a lie. You mean our government? You mean our government that you praise so much under the Democratic leadership? They supply all the drugs in our community, but they can't supply no jobs. You ain't got no problem with that, huh? You don't have a problem with them telling you two men can sit up in front of your baby's face and feel on each other and kiss. You cool with all that?
Let me ask you a question. How many black people you know that you? First of all, let me ask you this question: are you unemployed?
Man, we already covered this ground.
No. I'm asking you: are you unemployed right now?
No, I'm not.
All right, am I unemployed right now? No, I'm not. Do I know black people right now in my circle that I deal with every day unemployed? No, I don't know no unemployed black person in my life right now. So that's in my circle that I can't have contact with every day. I don't know not one black person that's unemployed. Now, I'm asking you that same question. How many black people you know that's unemployed in your circle?
Not many.
Not many. Okay, that's
not
all.
many at all.
So that means that there are jobs and black people are working. So what is your point of saying that?
The other, I didn't say that. You just brought that up. But majority of the black people,
you said they can supply drugs. They can put drugs in the community.
I'm talking about the Democrats.
To create jobs for black people. That's what you just said.
They can't. They can't. The people that got jobs that I know own their own shit. They are their own boss. It wasn't because the Democratic government did something for them and helped them out. None of that.
They own their own business. So how many black people have they hired over the years then, since they own their own business? My whole point of saying what I'm saying, class, is this right here. We need to stop with the excuses, man. We need to stop playing victim, man. Because this is what this is all about, playing victim. We want to be victimized every day of the week. Every time something happens, we got to blame it on another group. It's Hispanics, it's Latinos, it's the Asians, it's everybody but us. We're the only.
We don't say that. We don't do that. We don't do that. We don't do that.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't. You're lying. You can't. You are lying. No, we don't. You don't got no information. You can't even point me in a direction where I can find this information you're talking about of us doing that.
What information?
Black people doing the things you say they doing to Latinos, Hispanics, and the other motherfuckers that shouldn't be here.
Look at YouTube. Look at Tariq. Look at Umar Johnson. Those people play victim.
Come on, man. Look at so you guys
always blaming other groups.
That don't count. That don't count.
Look at this fucking FBI.
I do agree with you, King. I do agree with you on movement. Hey, I do agree with you on the fact that Tariq Nasheed and Umar, they ripping the black community off. I do agree with you on that. But as far as that other shit that you talking about that black people do, don't exist at all. That's your made up belief. That's the Democratic Party shit.
Umar Johnson and Tariq Nasheed are the main factors of the people who play victim, who want black people to play victim on a daily basis. That's how they make their money.
Do you think black people should get reparation?
Huh?
Do you think black people should get reparation?
No, I don't.
So you think they should continue to depend on the government?
Hold on. Let me tell you the reason why. Because we're so far out from slavery, and it's to the point right now. If they did pass reparations, you would never see it because it's going to be so difficult to try to figure out who deserves it and who don't deserve it. Because of the bloodlines are all fucking screwed up right now. All screwed up.
We're not even 200. We're not even 200 years.
The only thing you're gonna do is entangle all this into a legal matter for the next 400 years. That's all you.
Why not, man? We earn our keep, man.
I have a very simple way of doing this. Instead of talking about reparations, how about trying to pass bills to just put money back into the black community, into certain things in the black community, like education, like job training programs, like the justice reform type programs. That's what we can do. Instead of all this reparation bullshit, let's focus on things that we can actually do today, do right now, like tomorrow.
And we can do all those things that you're talking about a lot easier if we had our reparation.
Or do you really think black people are going to take that money and put it into education, job training?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Why? It doesn't matter, King. Why is it that black folks are always question? Why do we got to be questioning where we spend our money, but nobody else get to be questioning about where they spend their reparation money?
I'm not questioning where you spend your money, but my thing is we're going about this totally in a way that it's not going to accomplish anything.
It doesn't matter. We just need our bread, King.
All you want, you can ask for reparation all you want, but like I said, even if they gave you reparations, you're gonna be wrapped up into the legal system for years to come because it's too hard to try to figure out who's descendants of slaves and who's not descendants of slaves.
Ain't too hard. No, it's not. No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
A lot of these motherfuckers who run around talking about they are descendants of slaves, they're not even fucking descendants of slaves. They just think they are.
No, that's some Democratic Africans that y'all let come over here.
Nah, like I said, ain't no fucking way y'all gonna get reparations anytime soon. Anyway, on top of that, the way they going about doing it is all ass backwards.
It be our own people that say we don't deserve shit because they so fucking slave washed.
Because it's nothing but a scam. All you motherfuckers out here running around talking about reparations is nothing. We're running a scam on people. That's all you doing. Because ain't none of y'all who talk about reparations.
So when Japan and the Jews got reparation from us for no fucking reason at all.
You know how they got it?
They was worthy of it.
Let me tell you how they got it. Let me tell you the difference between them and us. You know how they got it? They had people in Congress fighting for them. All right. They lobbied Congress to get that done for them. You know we got going for ourselves right now? Nothing. You know what we're doing right now? We're sitting on YouTube. We're sitting on YouTube.
King, you stretching it. You stretching it. You stretching it.
No. Let me finish. We're
stretching this lie.
We're sitting on social media telling people we want reparation. We want reparation. We want reparation. Not one of those people who so-called leading this charge is up in Washington, D.C. trying to talk to the ones in Congress to try to make this happen. Not one.
Neither was the Japanese and the white folks over there in Germany.
And
neither was them.
The Japanese and the Jews, they had people in D.C. fighting for them to get what they got. We don't have no one in D.C. fighting to get what we want. Bottom line, that's what the problem is, and that's how they got what they.
They like you though, King. They like you. As long as you're a Democrat and receiving free help.
Black people.
Hey, keep quiet. Keep quiet, black folks. Don't say nothing. You getting free shit.
Black people only talk with no action. That's what they're all about. Talking. Now go ahead. I'll be quiet. Go ahead.
That's every race of people, King.
No,
that's every race.
No.
You seem like you don't like your color folks.
No. I don't like people who sit here and tell people not to vote. You tell people not to vote, but you want something you want something, but you don't want to vote for it.
Who did that?
Black people are the only people I hear on the internet running around saying,
where King?
I don't need
King,
to vote. I don't need to vote. But then they turn around and they want something.
Only person I heard to say that they not voting is a fat dude on YouTube. I haven't heard nobody tell folks they shouldn't vote. I heard people encouraging people. No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. What a video.
When you tell people don't vote, withhold your vote until you get XYZ, that's telling people not to vote.
That was the election before this one.
That was this cycle too.
No, it wasn't. He was encouraging people to go out and he was encouraging folks to go out. Go to his channel, man. It's loaded.
He was not encouraging people to go out and vote. He was telling people,
man,
if you're not gonna get
King
tangible, don't vote. That's what he was telling
people. Anybody listening to Call King, man, go out to Tariq Nasheed page and check your shit out before the election. He got countless videos where he's telling black people to go and vote.
Yeah, right. All right, classic. What's up, James?
Oh, nothing much. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. What's going on, man?
Well, I see what you're let me bring my mic down here a little closer. I didn't realize it was so far away. Anyway, I was wondering your opinion about this birthright stuff. I didn't get to hear the beginning of it.
Oh, okay. No, basically the beginning was about, a lot of black people are saying that, the 14th Amendment came about because of them, and they are the reason for birthright citizenship. And my view of that was, they're wrong in the sense because the United States government gave them citizenship with the 14th Amendment. But when it comes to the birthright issue, this Wong Kim Ark case is the case that actually gave protection to birthright citizenship. So it wasn't the black slaves who gave the right to birthright citizenship. It was basically this case right here that solidified the birthright citizenship issue in this country.
Okay. You and I don't agree on a lot of things.
Right.
But on this, I agree with you, except for this case still does not give them the birthright citizenship. And I'll explain why. Because I have kind of looked into this.
Mm-hmm.
the United States had jurisdiction, excuse me, over him. He filed and was trying to become a citizen. And where the argument comes in is the way the court portrayed it. They left it really vague, and that's how they left the loophole, and nobody's challenged it since then.
What was the loophole?
Where it says and, or God, I'd have to read it again, but the way it's the way it's worded. But the United States had jurisdiction over him, where the illegals that come into this country, the United States have no jurisdiction over them. They're illegal. They didn't come here by any means. They didn't file any paperwork or anything. He did.
All right, so this is the part we really don't disagree on. Now, when it says jurisdiction, is if you look at it from a diplomat point of view, a diplomat is here in this country legally, right? But the United States do not have jurisdiction over that diplomat.
Well, he has immunity from
that. Diplomat can commit a crime, and the United States can't touch him, no matter what the crime is, because he's not under the jurisdiction of the United States government. Now, hold on. When you're talking about undocumented immigrants, even though they're here and they crossed the border and they broke a civil law, because that's a civil law, it's a civil misdemeanor. They broke that civil misdemeanor.
And again, go ahead. I'm gonna let you go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish. I apologize.
That's all right. When they crossed that border, even though they came across the border and they broke a civil law, they're under the jurisdiction of the United States of America. Because if they commit a crime, some of y'all say they commit a crime already because they crossed the border, but if they commit another crime in this country, they get locked up, they get arrested, they get booked. It's not like they get sent back to their country just like that. No, they actually have the opportunity to fight that charge that they were charged with. So that put them under the jurisdiction of the United States. So that's how I read that. Go ahead.
Well, that's a Democratic way of saying, it's a civil infraction. No, it's not.
It's a civil infraction, James. Look it up.
No, it's not.
Look it up.
Well, I'll tell you what. Leave your door unlocked and, just let people come and go as they want to.
That's extreme, Jay. That's not.
It's the same reference.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Leave your door open and unlock and just let somebody just walk in.
So let me ask you a question. Is it a violent crime?
Doesn't matter.
Is it a crime? Is it a crime?
It doesn't matter.
Is it a crime?
If they walk into your house and they don't do anything and they walk out, is that a crime?
Actually, it's not. That's not a victimless crime because they walked into my house.
It's not a victimless crime, them crossing the border either.
Yeah, it is. Who they hurting?
No, it's not.
Who are they hurting?
Everybody. Anybody who's a United States citizen, they're hurting.
And they hurt me.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
What's up, T? What's up, Black Pearl? They're not hurting me.
Hey, T Black.
I'm just saying, James, when you say hurting me, what do you mean by hurting me?
Somebody coming in your house and doesn't do anything, then goes out. That's a victimless crime.
No, because I'm the victim of that.
No. It's the same thing. Gary, it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
But I'm trying to figure out who is the victim of them crossing the border. Who have they harmed?
The United States and the citizens in it. Again, Gary, somebody walks into your house and then turns around and goes back out or stays in your house. Who does it hurt? Who does it hurt?
It hurts me because they came to my house without permission. That's my house. That's
really
the whole point. Hey, that's the whole point.
We're using. See, to me personally, That's not a
Man, you
good.
just destroyed your own argument, Gary.
No. No, because we talking about the border. All right, let me put it another way.
Your house is the border. Your front door is the
Hold on. My
border.
house
If
is
you
not the
cross
border.
them threshold,
My house is not the border. But anyway, let me put this right here. What if someone came and knocked on my door? Hold on. If someone came and knocked on my door and I opened my door and I let them into my home,
you gave him permission. We didn't give him permission.
All right. So, all right, this is my point. So, if someone came to a port of entry and they knocked on their port of entry door and they came through the door and these people allowed them in, and then said, okay, we're going to set
we
you.
didn't allow these motherfuckers in.
And this right here is the majority of the people who crosses the border. They come through an illegal point of entry. So it's not like y'all saying that all these people crossing the border are crossing the border illegally. A lot of these people are being let into the country. And that's my point.
Yeah, they say they come in here to do business, but they end up never going back home.
No, but a lot of them come here and they filing for asylum. That's what a lot of them are doing.
When?
Hey,
I'm just saying. I'm just. But anyway, get back to me and James were talking about as in with this case. Another thing, James, also with this case, a lot of people fail to understand is this guy was born to Chinese immigrants. All right.
At
the time he was born, they could not be citizens in this country. They could not be citizens. All right. So when y'all talk about the 14th Amendment, Section 1, y'all have to understand also if it's true what y'all are saying, that means that every non-citizen who had a baby here illegally or not here illegally or whatever you want to say, it goes for them too. Then none of their kids are going to be citizens.
Right.
Facts.
So y'all,
that's the way it should be.
So y'all good.
I agree with it.
So y'all good.
Gary, I was on this kick even back when I was a kid. I didn't agree with birthright citizens back then. So it's not like I'm changing my view or anything.
You're standing on business.
I'm still saying, even back then, I haven't changed my opinion about that. Never.
Oh, that's great. I appreciate that. I'm glad to see that there are some people who have been standing on this issue for a long time, and that's good. But a lot of these people are Johnny come latelys, and they just jumping on the bandwagon all of a sudden.
Not me.
And it's like the illegals that come in here, and trust me, I've worked alongside of them. I know how hard most of them work. I worked with them back in the 70s and the 80s and all that, but they came here for a purpose and for a reason. They were still coming here because of World War II agreement, allowing them to come up here and work because we were at war. That was the reason why they originally were allowed to come in, was because of the shortage of workers because of war. And they just keep coming at some point. And then when you and I both were around when Reagan took it and did the pardon of them.
Yeah.
So, and that was supposed to be the last time that was ever supposed to be done. And that was to take it and make all of them legal up until that point for the ones that it came over and had started their lives and everything from the war efforts and stuff. Now here we are 40 years later wanting to do the same thing again, where we shouldn't have to be that position again.
T-Brag had a question. How are undocumented, non-criminal employed people hurting the country more than corporations and our government? That's a good question, T. And that's why I don't really put too much emphasis on trying to look at these undocumented immigrants in an evil way, because our country itself have done so much harm to the poor and the middle class. And it's not about undocumented immigrants. It's about the government itself. But go ahead, Classic. Go ahead.
So you saying we being replaced and you cool with it?
We're not being replaced.
That's pretty much what you just said, King.
Actually, actually, as much as it really pains me about agreeing with Classic, I have to agree with him on it. It is hurting. It really is.
How's that, James?
It hurts everybody because they're actually getting more than the United States citizens are.
Facts.
And they're actually getting things that United States citizens can't get.
As in what? Give me an example.
Well, you know, like the welfare, the food stamps.
I see plenty of people getting those benefits.
What's that?
I see plenty of Americans getting those benefits.
There are, but not like they are. Not in the volumes. And the people that are here are citizens.
We got to jump through hoops and hurdles. They don't. As soon as they come in here, show the people your credentials, and here go this free shit for you.
And this is the thing about what T brought up, the corporation side of this. Do y'all understand that we sit here and fight amongst ourselves as poor people and middle class people, while corporations are the one who actually hiring these people, and they get away with murder? And it's to the point where you take Donald Trump, for instance. And y'all gonna disagree with me, or you can disagree with me if you want. I understand that. But Donald Trump have hired so many illegal immigrants over the years, and it's a known fact that he did. But all of a sudden now, because of politics, we want to make them into the boogeyman. When we know corporations, because we know corporations are the biggest factor who are receiving the biggest benefit from these undocumented immigrants, and that's a fact. But go ahead, James.
Well, the issue that I have with that is that the federal government actually passed, and it was back in I believe it was in the late 80s, maybe even the early 90s, where if you hired somebody, you had to show proof of citizenship or a green card, and you also had to have a social security number that just to prove that you could work. Now, how these corporations are getting around that, I don't understand. And I understand what you're saying, Gary, about the big corporations, about hiring them and stuff and them working in different things. I don't understand how that could be. But see, back when I was still working in agriculture, they had to take it and show proof of that. Now, I know a lot of them that was using fake IDs and stuff like that, but they were still providing something.
Yeah, but look at these farmers today. When all this goes down, they always be the first one to start yelling about they can't find help, because those undocumented immigrants are their help. Now, if they know that these people are undocumented, and these are the same people who vote for Donald Trump, and these are the same people who use undocumented immigrants for their labor. So how do that work? So why are we so upset at undocumented immigrants, but the same people who are voting to kick them out of the country are the same one complaining by not having a workforce because of it? See what I'm saying? So it doesn't add up here. It doesn't add up.
Well, I can personally vouch that most of the farmers and stuff like that pay a better wage than most places around here.
They do what now?
Because they pay a better wage than most places around here. Doesn't matter if you're undocumented or not; they still pay a better wage.
Yeah, but why doesn't
because most of all the people that are not working and stuff live in big cities. They don't want to move out in the rural areas. That's the problem.
Well, this is my thing though, and I tell everybody the same thing. We sit here and fight amongst ourselves why the rich and these corporations take advantage of all of this. You know, we can sit here.
The rich and all that stuff going to take advantage of whatever they can to make more money.
Right. So we can sit here and go back and forth about undocumented immigrants and how they hurt America, how they not hurt America. But when you boil it down, it's all about politics at the end of the day. It's all about
politics. How you weased your way out of that, King.
What you mean?
Hey, James had a great point, nigga. I like how you weased your way out of that.
No, because James said that most people live in urban areas and they don't want to move to the country. But I can disagree with James a little bit because I'm from the South. I'm from the rural South. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of black people who lives in rural Alabama, who lives in rural Mississippi, who lives in rural Louisiana, and basically they still don't want to work those jobs.
No, you just cap. You reaching now, King.
No,
No, you can't say that. You can't say that. You can't say that.
My family originated from Washington, Georgia, which is Wilkes County in Georgia. It's a rural area, and the majority of the people in that rural area are black. All right, and that's that's like any other area in rural Georgia.
I hear you, but the number of black people that you saying that aren't willing to do those jobs, they live in the city, like James just said. They live in the city. They're not willing to go out there.
But my point was, there's a lot of black people who live in rural Alabama, rural Georgia, rural Mississippi.
Well,
not compared to the city.
Well, now, in some of the fairness to Gary now is that I've seen a lot of people that won't go to work for farmers and stuff, even crackers and stuff, because they think it's beneath them.
There you go.
And stuff. And that they refused. They would just as soon go stand in a poverty line and live on the street as to go work for a farmer.
Yep.
That's a fact.
No, I'm just lazy motherfuckers.
I've been trying to tell him that to you the whole time, but he don't want to listen to me though. He swear up and down that black people want those jobs. And Classic, no, he's wrong.
Y'all just saying that because that's what social. No, I'm not wrong. Y'all believe in social media. You ain't doing no real fact check, King. You going on what they say on social media. They assume black American man, T-Black, don't want to work those type of jobs. Not black man, just black people, period. Or they assume we don't want to do that type of work. Majority of us don't even know about this work. Why would we go somewhere we don't know about? We don't know there's the hiring at this farm out here.
Actually, I seen a video yesterday. It was a short yesterday. I seen a short yesterday. And it was this white farmer. I'm gonna say he was a farmer, and it was a black guy. And the black guy was in the truck talking to this guy, and the guy had paid him $10 for 3
and he
hours.
whooped his ass.
And he whooped his ass. And the thing about that is a prime example of why black people and people in general, not just black people, white people and black people, do not want to work those farming jobs because of shit like that. And that's why they use undocumented immigrants.
No, that's a bad example, King. That's a bad example.
Those Republicans in the South use undocumented immigrants just like that. And they used to using them like that and paying them $10 for 3 hours or $20 for 3 hours or whatever the situation is. And that's why that's another reason why no one wants those jobs.
Hey, let me counteract that. That video, it was an old ass white man. He used to those back in the day pay prices, pay rates, what he think he can pay a person, and he thought he can get away with it today in time, and got his ass whooped.
No, he thought he was giving that money to an undocumented immigrant. That's what he thought.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. That had nothing to do with it.
No, I know he knew it was a black.
Yeah,
I know he knew that. But my whole point of saying what I'm saying is, still, just for him to give that guy $10 for 3 hours, I don't believe in violence, but he should have whooped his ass. He should have whooped his ass. I'm like, that's a major insult. Like,
hey, kid,
you could have given the guy $20.
He said what? He said $10. $10. Start whooping his ass.
He backed at him. I was like, this motherfucker. I was like, really? He backed at him.
And that's what the illegals doing. They will take that $10 and be happy.
And that's what I'm saying. That's my point also, to the point where a lot of these Republicans, because I guarantee that guy was a Republican. He voted for Donald Trump. And I guarantee you he's used to paying undocumented immigrants anything that's in his pocket, because you got to feel comfortable giving somebody $10 after working for 3 hours. You got to feel real comfortable doing that shit.
You done it before. You've done it a lot of times.
Yeah, that's not the first time he did that shit. So and this is why I said black people. That's one reason why they don't want to work farm. Number two, they don't want to work it because it's hard work. It's back-breaking work in field, and they think about slavery. So they don't want to do it because I'm serious. This is really another reason. They think about slave labor and being in the field, and bending over and picking cotton. That's another reason why they don't want to do it. So yeah, you have to understand.
I don't know anything about that because we always worked in either potatoes or hay or shit like that.
My father was a farm worker for many years in Washington, Georgia, in Wilkes County, rather. He was a farm worker. He did the dairy thing. He did the hay thing. He did everything. He worked for this guy for many, many fucking years. And the guy, he didn't have no benefits at the end of the day when it came.
Most farmers don't.
Right. So, and that's another reason why my father, he wasted probably good 30 years of his life working on this guy's farm and didn't have nothing to show for it at the end of the day. So farm work is hard, and farm work do not give you a lot of benefits at all. So and people,
but if you get in with the right people and stuff, even when you get to a certain point, they'll still take care of you just because of the loyalty. And I've seen that. I know 3 farmers right now that are supporting people that retired. They knew that they didn't have benefits, but they're still supporting them, and they don't have to do anything.
Well, that's good, and that's good, and I appreciate that farmer there. But there's a lot of farmers out there who's not going to do that.
But no, and I'm not going to disagree with you on that one.
Yeah, there's a lot of farmers, and if you find a person who's like that, you must commend them, because there's a lot of dirtbags out there like that. Like the guy we were talking about who gave that guy $10 for 3 hours. That's a dirtbag move. Nothing but
it is. I mean, that's just bullshit. I mean, anytime I mean,
but like I said, though, this case right here, get back to this case, the United States versus Wong Kim Ark. We have to understand some things, though. If you look at the way it was written, and the main word is jurisdiction. That's the main word.
You're right. That was the word that I was trying to think of. The United States government had jurisdiction over him.
But they also had jurisdiction. See, but the problem was his parents. So that was the problem came in at. His parents was here legally. If y'all want to say legally, they was here legally. But at the same time, because of the 1882, I believe, was it 82? It was an act in 1882 that said that Chinese immigrants could not be citizens, and that's where the issue came in, because they felt like since his parents couldn't be citizens, he couldn't become a citizen.
Yeah, I'd have to go back through it and reread it, because I know this all came back up again because of the birthright citizen and stuff.
Right.
And they actually interviewed his grandson. I think it was his grandson about it. And I really need to go back through it and reread it again, because it's been quite a few years.
Yeah, look up also when you go back, look up the Chinese Exclusion Act also of 1882, because that's basically was part of that also, because his parents could not become citizens even though it was illegally, and they was under the jurisdiction of the United States because they had to follow the laws of the United States. But it's pretty much starts with that, where it starts at.
Yeah, like I said, it's been a few years since I read that, because this is not the first time that's came up that I've known about, so, but I know that it's been a real big one because of Donald Trump getting elected and doing all this other stuff.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, James, since I got you here. What do you feel about, how do you feel about Donald Trump using these executive orders, trying to pretty much go around the Constitution?
Well, I don't think that he's trying to go around the Constitution. I think what he's trying to do is take where the city presidents at the time have wrote executive orders, and to add into what was there, like the DEIs and stuff like that. A lot of that stuff was brought in because of executive orders.
No,
you can't take it and change the laws.
No, I'm talking about this case right here, birthright citizenship. I'm talking about this.
Well, I think what he's done on this particular one, I think he's actually done a good thing, because it's going to go to the Supreme Court, and it's going to get challenged. And what's going to happen is that the Supreme Court's going to have to make the final decision. And it's either going to make it either where it is birthright citizenship, or they're going to have to come out and define what is birthright citizenship.
Blue Tinsel, birthright originally went by lineage or bloodline, or as land went by lineage. What do you mean by that, Blue Tinsel? I'm a little lost on that one. But no, what I'm saying is for a president to basically put out a executive order, knowing that executive order goes against the Constitution, I think, to me, it was stupid.
Yeah, but does it really go against the Constitution though?
Yeah, but when you say
I think that's what the issue is, and I think that might be the reason why he did it. Whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, it's going to have to go to the court and be challenged, kind of like what this guy did. It's going to have to. It needs to be challenged, and it's going to need to be more defined.
I don't think it needs to be more defined. I think it's already defined more. I think if you read it,
I think it's too vague.
No, if you read it the way it is, it clearly says all persons born and naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and the state within.
Under jurisdiction of the United States. What makes the United States have the jurisdiction over the person?
Because it's like I told you before, it's kind of like a diplomat. A diplomat is not
a diplomat has, but he doesn't. The United States doesn't have jurisdiction over him.
That's my point. That's the point I'm making.
And if you come in here illegally, the United States does not have jurisdiction over you.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. See, and that's the part where the deaf or the what they're going to have to figure out.
But James, James,
just because if you go to another country, that country only has limited jurisdiction over you.
But James,
period.
America,
and if you go in there,
if
you go into another country illegally, do they have jurisdiction over you?
We're not talking about in no other country. We're talking about America. So American laws, American Constitution. Now let's think about this, James. I'm going back to the diplomat thing because you kind of like you're not really understanding what I'm trying to say about the diplomat thing. A diplomat cannot be charged with a crime in the United States because they're not under the jurisdiction of the United States. A diplomat, right? Now, an undocumented immigrant can be charged with a crime and can be convicted of a crime in the United States. So they are under the jurisdiction of the United States because they have to follow the laws. No matter if they break the laws or not, they have to follow the laws under the United States. So that's what gives them jurisdiction over those undocumented immigrants. That's the
thing about those folks that the diplomats is that because they're in the government. The government allows them, each government allows another country to come in there for a diplomat to take in and do specific things. And that's why, and some of them, just because you're a diplomat, doesn't mean that you get diplomatic immunity about anything.
Well,
the hosting government has to agree to that.
But under the American laws, most diplomats do not have to follow the laws in this country. Bottom line, even though they do, but if they break a law, there's nothing really American can do. All right,
they kick them out.
Yeah, they kick them out. But at the same time,
under certain circumstances, depending on the diplomat, even if they have diplomatic immunity, even if they say they kill somebody, their own country can take it and charge them.
Right, because they're under the jurisdiction of the other country, and I
Right.
get that part. But see, this is the part where I'm telling you, I feel like no matter what the Supreme Court is going to side with the 14th Amendment, they're going to side to the point where these people are entitled to birthright citizenship because of that one word jurisdiction, because they are really under the jurisdiction of the United States when they come here. They have to follow and obey the laws still.
Well, that doesn't matter. Everybody does, but just
no,
because
not
you
everybody does, because diplomats don't. That's my point of bringing up diplomat, because they don't. They can admit
a diplomat is under a different set of guidelines.
That's the
and
point.
A different set of rules. They came here legally.
But they're not under the jurisdiction of the United States, though. That's the point.
They're still brought in or allowed to come in here, and they're not doing it illegally. They're doing it legally.
I get that, James. I understand that point.
So now you're trying to compare apples to oranges.
No.
Yeah, yes, you are. A diplomat comes in from a country.
No,
they are brought here.
I'm pointing out.
Or they're allowed to come here under that.
No, I'm pointing out.
Illegal. Somebody crossing the border does not have permission to come across. Again, it still boils down to somebody walks into your house. It's the same thing. I know you don't want to take and agree with that analogy, but James, that's what it is.
Let me ask you a question, James. If a diplomat have a baby here, let's say his wife.
He's not. The baby's not an American citizen.
And he's not a citizen, right? Not a citizen, right?
No.
So, and the reason why he's not a citizen, right? Because he's not under the jurisdiction of the United States government laws. And that's the difference.
He's not.
And that's the difference between an undocumented
it's not. It's not. He has special immunities to things. He has different immunities to things, though, Gary.
No, Jay. That's what
Gary, it's totally different. You're not catching it.
Let me show you something. Hold on a second. Like I said, you missed the first part of this live. So let me show you this right here. Hold on one second. Let me show you something. And this is the reason why the Supreme Court is going to side. Is going to side with. Hold on one second. Let me play this.
Parents are foreign diplomats, or the person is born on a public ship, or the parents are. The government denies citizenship to people born in the United States in any circumstance? The court said no. In a 6-2 decision, they ruled in favor of Wong, declaring that any child born in the country to parents of a foreign country is automatically a citizen, unless the parents are foreign diplomats, or the person is born on a public ship, or the parents are nationals of a foreign enemy country that is trying to take over the United States.
You see this part right here? Parents of foreign diplomats, and you see the reason why? Because they're not under the jurisdiction of the United States.
That's what I was saying. I mean,
but what I'm saying is right here, though, if an undocumented immigrant crosses the border, they're under the jurisdiction of the American government.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. They have to follow the laws, James.
Hold on a minute, Gary. I'll be back.
Go ahead. And I think this is the big until James come back. And I think this is the biggest part where a lot of people are misunderstanding this whole situation is anybody who crosses the border, they're still under the jurisdiction of the United States government. They have to abide by the laws of this country, no matter how they came. But if you're a diplomat, you don't have to abide by the laws. I'm not gonna say you're gonna break the laws, but if you commit a crime, they cannot charge you because you are not under the jurisdiction of the United States. You're a diplomat, and that's the biggest difference. And that's why I say, no matter where this case goes, it's not going to overturn birthright citizenship. It's not going to do it because of this right here. It simply means an inhabitant or dweller of the land. I said a baby can not be a citizen if the parent are not a citizen. Well, Blue Chancellor, the thing about that is, though, if that's the case, there are a lot of people who are legal, so-called legal here, who are not citizens. That means their babies are not citizens, which we're not talking about that, I guarantee you. Birthright goes back to lineage. Now, when you said lineage, what are we talking about here? We talking about white lineage? We talking about black lineage? What are we talking about? Indian, Native American lineage? What are we talking about here? Damn. But guys, it's been a very. I appreciate James and Classic coming up here and giving me a little debate. I really appreciate it. But like I said, man, as Black people, we need to stop it. We need to stop playing victim. Every time something happens, we want to claim it, that it belongs to us and us only. You know, all these people making these videos about the 14th Amendment, the Section 1. Only thing it did was make Black people citizens of this country. That's all. That's all it did. The birthright citizenship came about, basically was solidified with this case with Wong Kim Ark. That case right there went to the Supreme Court, and that case right there gave the strongest protection when it comes to birthright citizenship. So I'm gonna leave it at that. And until next time, y'all have a great day and great day. I'll see y'all later. I am so sick.